Oh hey, welcome to Intuitive Defense, in a little segment that I call Range Talk. Good news, for the time being anyway, the ATF's rule regarding pistol stabilizing braces, like you see here, is no more, as a judge has ordered a nationwide injunction preventing the ATF from taking enforcement action. Yes! Before this ruling though, there were already other injunctions in place, but they only applied to certain people and groups, whereas this one applies to everyone. Now let me backtrack for those who aren't familiar with the ATF's rule. In January of 2023, an ATF rule went into effect that turned a pistol stabilizing brace into a restricted item. Again, this piece of plastic that you see right here. Interestingly enough, before that date, a brace like this was lawful to own, possess, and use, just like you saw, for 10 years. But then, because of political pressure and arbitrary reasons, the fickle ATF changed their mind. Of course, their justification for limiting and reducing freedoms and rights was safety. But we all know, really, it was just for infringement purposes. You might be thinking, but the ATF doesn't have the power or authority to create law. And you're right for thinking that. You see, the ATF didn't create a law that effectively banned the ownership, possession, and use of a pistol stabilizing brace. They only created a rule which acts as law by banning the ownership, possession, and use of a pistol stabilizing brace, unless you get special daddy permission from the government to allow you to own this once legal item. All they really did was replace the word law with the word rule, and bam! Legal unicorn piss magic allows bureaucrats to become lawmakers. Yay for us. Now you might be saying, well, that doesn't make any fucking sense. And you know what? You're right. That doesn't make any fucking sense. You know why that doesn't make any fucking sense? Because it's the government. And the government is filled with stupid people in powerful positions who do things that are dumb and for ignorant reasons. To learn more about this rule, check out our current events video on this topic. There's a link in the description of this video, along with a pop-up link appearing somewhere in this general direction. I'm not exactly too sure where that is, but just look for it. Again, the good news is this BS rule is not enforceable right now. Anyways, that doesn't mean they probably won't still try, but we have some relief. The bad news is it took several months for a judge to implement a nationwide injunction on government action that arbitrarily and capriciously infringed on the freedoms and rights of the American people. I know the wheels of justice tend to move slower than the rest of the train, but millions of people were negatively affected by the unconstitutional action of certain people and organizations within the government. It is my opinion that the writers of this rule should be held civilly and criminally responsible for intentionally violating people's rights. That won't happen, and unfortunately, due to the lack of accountability, it's only a matter of time until more power-hungry people use the full weight of the government to take more freedoms and rights from us. Anyway, moving on. This new injunction helps to solve a problem that never should have been created by allowing those of us, which is millions of Americans, who own and possess pistol stabilizing braces like this, to freely do so without the concern of retribution from the ATF. It is important to understand this new nationwide injunction is temporary in nature, and it may be several years before we see a permanent injunction issued on this matter. It should also be noted there is a possibility, as legal cases move forward, that this particular injunction is not upheld and we all find ourselves in the same situation we've been living in for the past several months. Yay! For now though, I will celebrate this small free the brace victory, one .45 round at a time.